Okay, same day. Next thing I'm doing today is potting up some tomatoes. So I have these tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes. One thing I like to do to start seeds, especially if they're older seeds, like an older seed pack, which I have so many of right now, and I've kind of just felt convicted to not order new seeds this year. I know there's a seed shortage happening and supply chain issues or whatever, and so I felt like I need to use what I have, not spend the money, and if other people don't have seeds and need to get them, then they are available to them. So the older seed packs get, or the older seeds get, the lower your germination rate is going to be. And so one way to you can test that by planting 10 seeds and see how many germinate, and if 6 come up, you've got a 60% germination rate. I don't do that. I just sprinkle a bunch of seeds. This is probably like the end of a seed pack. And so these are a bunch of little tomatoes, and I need to get them potted up. They're getting their true leaves. And so to do that, I need pots, and I am out of pots. So I'm using cups, like solo cups. These are generic, but the cups need drainage. And so I'm using a soldering iron. And this is a quick, easy way. I've done a nail, I've done the drill, my husband's done that. The problem with that is we end up putting too much pressure on the drill. We crack a bunch of cups. Either the holes are too big or too small. The one at a time with the screw or a hammer and nail just takes too long. So this way I can get 3 cups, because the heating point on here is about 1 inch long, and we'll go through about 3 cups. So I'm just gonna put 3 holes in them. So there you go. So there's 3 cups done. Keep going. So that's just a real quick way. It only took me a few seconds. Let's see, I'm gonna unplug it because I don't need it for a little while. I just did 18 because I'm gonna be setting them in one of these 10-20 trays, and I happen to know that I can comfortably fit 18 in here. All right, so next I need to fill my cups. I'm gonna fill them up about halfway with compost. I like to use this Organic Brands compost. I just get it at my local hardware store. It's a mushroom compost. It's a very good consistency. You can start seeds right in that. You don't have to have a seed starting mix. It already has a good biological life, microbial life to it. My shed door is creaking. Sorry. It's not too sandy. It's not too woody. You might have to pull out the occasional stick, but it's pretty good. So I'm gonna fill these up about halfway. Gently pack them down. And I'm gonna do them all before I start planting tomatoes. Okay, this is how this goes down. So I'm gonna take this whole pot with all the tomatoes in it. I'm gonna carefully try not to break any stems. So this was actually started in a seed starting mix. It's super spongy, has a lot of peat moss to it. I've got a lot of tomatoes here. It's gonna be a lot more than 18. That's okay. Is there such a thing as too many tomatoes? I don't think so. So I'm just carefully breaking these apart. You can see all the roots. You're gonna have a root tear here and there. Tomatoes are super forgiving. Just doing my best to kind of separate out. So as long as there's enough root intact there, we should be good. Now this compost is already pretty moist. Setting it in the cup, carefully adding compost around it. Now these have gotten a little bit leggy. I should have gotten these transplanted before now. I'm gonna add quite a bit of compost and bury these. I normally would bury them about halfway up for tomatoes because they will sprout roots up all along the stem to make a sturdier stalk. But I'm gonna go more than halfway. So you can see what this looks like. It looks like a tiny little plant in there, but rest assured, so the bottom of it is about halfway down. So there's extra soil, not soy, extra soil. So I'm gonna keep doing that, one at a time. These two are very close together, but they'll do just fine. Another thing is you can pick just your strongest this way. If you start a bunch at a time, you know, they're not all gonna make it all the way to fruitings, but you know, you can pretty quickly see which ones are gonna die off quickly, which ones are growing kind of wonky. So I like to pick the absolute strongest if I need to be picky and I'm being cautious with space. I'm not doing that this year. I mean, if anything looks like a bug has eaten at it, I might just throw it to the chickens. But this year I'm hoping to start more than ever. So this guy got a big chunk of soil. Oh, no, there's two in there. So this guy got a big chunk of soil. This guy not so much, but they will both do just fine. Can you see that? As long as those roots are covered with soil, you are good. Now, if you happen to break a stem, just toss it aside. That one's not gonna make it. If you bend it even, I would toss that aside as well. I'm gonna have to open a new bag of compost here in a moment. But I'll keep going. Okay, so I have 18 of these finished. I still have at least 18 more little tomatoes to pot up, so I'll do those as well. Like I said, this compost is already pretty moist, but I'm gonna add just a little drop of water right where the plant stems are so that their roots can get a fresh drink since they've been a little bit traumatized by separating. Like I said, tomatoes are super forgiving. So, I mean, even at this size, it's hard to kill them in this kind of manner. It's way easier to lose them to disease later on. But right now, this is great. So I'm gonna take these outside and go ahead and plug in my hot iron so that I can get the next batch started. Actually, I just realized that I'm out of time for the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'm just gonna stick these tomatoes right into this pot of compost so that their roots are not exposed, and I'll handle it tomorrow. Unplug my iron. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope to share whatever I have going on the farm in the future. It won't be daily. It may not even be weekly. I don't know. I don't know what I can accomplish. So let me know. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What kind of questions do you have? And thanks for watching. Bye.